Hey everybody, this is herculespetix, founder, curator, docent, and gift shop employee of the herculespetix Academy of Comic Book Studies. Today we're going to continue and finish our look at Nextwave, Agents of H.A.T.E, a 12-issue miniseries running from 2006 to 2007, published by Marvel, and written by Warren Ellis, penciled by Stuart Immonen. I think I was saying Immonen last time. It's probably Immonen. Who knows though? And inked by Wade von Grawbadger. Once again, a lot of fun, these comics. Really just over the top zaniness going on here. So let's dive in. We got number 7 here. As you can see, we still have the stylish graphic designy covers. This is, I guess around this time, this was the style. It's kind of dated. You don't see many things that look like this anymore, but in 2000s, I kind of like it. I like this heavenly designed look, even though I prefer just a well-drawn comic cover much more. But if you don't have that or whatever, it's pretty flashy. It's pretty cool looking, I think. Once again, we start off with the primer, and it's very handy and also kind of funny. Warren Ellis makes it a little different every time. So we start off where I believe somewhere in America at a public restroom, the one of the guys from H.A.T.E, the Beyond Corporation, is summoning a mystical entity from another dimension. He says, "I blind the Vishanti, I shred the shade of the seraphim, I put the moons of Manipur to the torch." So he's taking Doctor Strange's language and kind of twisting it. "I made your mark in the blood of French Canadians, I summon thee." And this guy pops up, Workanu. He claims that he's from the Denk dimension, even though next issue he's going to claim it's the Dim dimension. As you can see, he almost looks like he could be Dormammu's nephew or something, even though he doesn't mention that in his lineage. Basically, the Beyond Corporation wants to hire, lease, if you will, some mindless ones. So this dimension seems like it's Dormammu's, maybe it's right next door, and they have mindless ones as well. If you remember we'll see the mindless ones in a second. So he basically, he says, "What can you offer me, Earthling?" And he says, "How about some cash?" He also wants some women. He gives him $100, and he's like, "Yes, I have 100 of the Earth dollars." And he also wants the Suicide Girls to, I guess, service him. He seems to have a fetish for them. I really like the design on this character. Let me get his name one more time. I know I'm going to forget it. Workanu. And now we start off with our heroes. We see Monica and Bloodstone, Elsie, chatting. Apparently, the captain and Machine Man Aaron Stack are in the back getting drunk. I don't know why Machine Man needs to get drunk or how he can, since he's a robot, but he really likes getting drunk. We see him here jamming it right into his forehead. Once again, it's all about the funny dialogue. This is the captain going on about how he had so many names. Captain Avalon, Captain Marvel, but that was taken. Captain Universe, but that was taken. He was even had a dirty name. It's censored. It's like, I guess it was like Captain Fuck or something. And I guess Captain America beat him up. So now we go up to the front, and Monica and Elsie are talking. And I'm going to read some of this. This is some pretty funny stuff. And this is just like he's totally ripping on the Marvel Universe and just having a laugh at their expense. But it's all in continuity. Like, Warren Ellis knows his shit. So they're talking about, mystical creatures and stuff. And Monica says, "Dr. Strange hit on me once." "You're kidding. Got any magic in you? Would you like some?" She says that's the worst thing about being an Avenger. All of them. Thor and his magic hammer, Ant-Man and his dirty little feet. I don't even want to talk about the Wasp. The only one who didn't hit on me, Captain America. I don't think he likes girls. There's some really just fun shit in here. I could read hundreds of issues of this, just making fun of the Marvel Universe. So we go back to that public restroom in Colorado, and the mindless ones start appearing through a dimensional portal. Now we head back to the Aero Marine, which is like the helicarrier for H.A.T.E. And we see Dirk Enger. And he's basically quit. He's given up. He's in this bunker just eating, I think he's eating ice cream with Prozac thrown in. He's like, tell the Beyond Corporation I'm done. Tell them to shove it up their ass. But then one of his subordinates says, yeah, we got the mindless ones, and Nextwave are heading over there. You won't even have to do anything. You could just watch it on TV, and he's all excited. Because he's just given up trying to beat these guys up. He keeps trying to kill them, and he keeps failing. So now, Nextwave, because they have the marketing plan of Beyond, they know that where to go next, which is this town in Colorado. I didn't mention earlier that, I didn't even mention Wade von Groubacher, but the little I know of his work from inking Starman over Tony Harris, I think he adds a lot. I've seen others too in him, and this has a very angular kind of look to it, and I should have credited him because he definitely seems to be contributing to this. It's definitely a collaboration. They show up, the cops are under siege. Of course, the mindless ones are like fucking way stronger than a bunch of cops. They've got these. So I said I was going to tell you about these guys. These are from Doctor Strange. They live in Dormammu's dimension. And they're just such an amazing creation of Steve Ditko. And they're just these mindless husks or bodies. And they just emit these like laser beams out of their faces. They don't even really have faces. They just have a slit where this force comes out of. So they're killing the cops left and right. Monica goes up to the one in charge and says, listen, we're here to help. So, and she's like, yeah, we'll get to it. I'm tired of watching my coworkers die. So they attack the mindless ones. Just in a lot of fun ways. Machine Man just starts kicking them around. I like this panel of them just flying around. Of course, Elsie just uses her guns, which she's partial to do. She says that they explode when you shoot them. She's very excited. I think I was a little too hard on the art last time. This is really fun art. I mean, it's like I said, he draws really weird hips sometimes. But other than that, for this kind of comic, it's fun as hell. And especially some of the things, like the visual imagination going on in some of these. He designs really cool characters. So we see all of our team fighting the mindless ones in their own way. Excuse me. So apparently that was just the first wave. The police officer says they're all over town. So they basically head out. They're going to walk through this town with their fucking misshapen hips. Look at that. That's fucking weird. And then we have a little coda here, because this is basically the cliffhanger. And here's a little coda. We see the mindless ones find a skate park, and after they killed the kids skating there, they grab their skateboards and start skating. Some of them are driving around, drinking beers, and they keep coming out of that portal. This is just getting very silly. Because really, not to sound like a nerd, but the mindless ones would not want to skateboard or do anything. They're mindless ones. They're just like lumps. They're like insects. So here's another cool cover. Lots of different kind of media going on here. Primer. Oh my God. So literally, look, the mindless ones are snapping their fingers. And it's like a dance routine from a musical. They almost like West Side Story. They all start dancing in time. I gotta say, that's funny as hell. Even though it's out of character for a mindless one. We have this interesting moment where Elsie talks about, yeah, I learned how to kill monsters at my daddy's knee. That's how I know these are mindless ones. I know every monster out there. And then we see this really kind of heartbreaking scene where I guess her robot nanny is just totally cruel to her. Like while her mother and father are on vacations, the Bloodstones, she basically has to learn about monsters. And if she doesn't get the right answer, she gets kind of, it looks like they torture her. This is how she grew up. Because her father really wanted her to be the ultimate, just as good a monster fighter as him. Ulysses Bloodstone was his name. He was a character in the 70s. I don't know when Elsie Moonstone started popping up. I don't know if it was just for this series or not. And she seems pretty traumatized by this. And it's interesting, the rest of the page, even though it's all wacky zaniness, we see on her face that she's still dwelling on this and kind of resentful. So they gotta try to find the magic gate, close it off, and also stop these mindless ones and destroy them. This is just ridiculous. They all start dressing up. I don't know how in the hell they'd find a hoodie in their size. I mean, these things are as big as like little Hulks and dresses. We see them watching TV in an electronics store. They're all fascinated. For some reason, they dress up as waiters in this restaurant where they've killed all the patrons. It's just very weird. Elsie has another flashback. So we see Ulysses Bloodstone, this horrible looking monster, the beast of Krakow. He says, I beat and caged him 5,000 years ago. If you're going to be a Bloodstone, you got to enter the pit and defeat this beast. Are you ready? And we look over and she's a baby with just a little spoon. And he throws her into the pit. And, of course, this pisses off Elsie even more, this memory. And she's like, I should wait for the other guys. Fuck it. I'm going to take out these guys. Look at this interesting anatomy here. This is like full on like Eric Kneat or Peter Chung. It's really fucking stylized, crazy art. I kind of like it. I really like the hand flux, so maybe that's why. So she's just raising havoc. She's killing all these mindless ones. But, okay, guys, I got to nerd out again. She throws some cutlery at them and it kills them. No wicked up mindless one be killed with a fork. I mean, those things are fucking, like, made of rock. And then when she's done killing these guys, she continues her flashback. And she survives her... obviously, she survived because she grew up. She survives the pit monster. And apparently with just a little spoon. And he's like, well, now you can attack this monster, the Felch monster of Bihar province. So this is like, it's just kind of absurdist humor. I mean, there's no way this little baby would even know how to fight anything, even a squirrel. So the mindless ones keep pouring out of the portal. And Workanu keeps talking about how he really wants the only humans he likes are the suicide girls. Meanwhile, our heroes are just laying waste to these mindless ones. It seems a little too easy to me. In Doctor Strange, the mindless ones were pretty, almost indestructible. They were unstoppable. Meanwhile, we see Dirk Anchor again. And this is just a sign of how unhinged he is. So they're flying out to Colorado. And I believe they're flying to Colorado. And he's just trying to hang himself. But he lies and says, I'm in a meeting. But then he gets the news from his subordinate. And says, hey, Beyond Corporation has a new weapon for you to try out. A new tactic. And it makes him really happy. Unfortunately, he gets so happy that he loses his footing. And the stool kicks out. And even though now he doesn't want to kill himself, it looks like he inadvertently will. So they finally find the portal, the public restroom. The captain finds it. He says, I'm going to take care of this guy who's ever bringing these fuckers in. And he dives into the bathroom, and there's Wakanu. And we really see how strong the captain is, because Wakanu is kind of like Dormammu. You can't imagine even a normal superhero beating Dormammu. But just through like basically bar fighting and like pure brute strength, and the captain beats the shit out of him. I do like when first time he punches his face, he burns his hand. It's just like Dormammu, who's got that flaming head. He shoves his face in the toilet. This is so fun. And so he takes out Wakanu. And then I guess there's still some life in him. So he takes a pipe out of the wall and just starts beating the shit out of him. And then all the rest show up and they see what he's doing, and they're like, oh my God, one of what's her face, Tabitha, she pukes because he's just turning Wakanu into a mess of flaming bloody gore. And of course Monica's just like, oh Christ. It looks like he even used a toilet cleaner at one point as a weapon. And then Wakanu is, he's still alive. He says, I am the dread Wakanu, and I will return to fuck you all. I'm imagining what the curse word says. And Monica says, oh, is that right? And she walks in and beats the shit out of him some more. So it looks like he is actually, at the very least, banished from this dimension, maybe dead. And they head out victorious. Next, we have number 9. Another interesting cover, primer. And we see a flashback to 1941. This is 10 minutes after Captain America was turned into a super soldier. And this, lieutenant or something is like, where's Captain America? The president's waiting to meet him. And the scientist here still has blood in his uniform. If you know Captain America's origin, a Nazi spy killed Professor Reisenstein or whatever his name was, who turned him into Captain America. And of course, just another Warren Ellis moment, a little potty humor. He's like, yeah, Captain America's got to pee like everyone else. And meanwhile, we see that there was a backup Nazi spy. And he's like, oh, I found out. Little do they know that Captain America's urine has trace amounts of the super soldier serum, and we can synthesize it from this. So he's got a big jar of Captain America's urine. That's a lot of pee for one visit. But then a gun appears right in his face. And it says, your Fuhrer doesn't get that tube of super pee, comrade. So I don't know who this is, because I'm a bad reader. I totally liked that little interlude, but later on I was like, wait, who was that? I didn't even think of that, because I got so into the story. I really like these comics. They're really fun. So now their next thing on the itinerary is they go to this one city. There was supposed to be some great threat, some great threat against humanity that the Beyond Corporation was going to unleash, but the town's completely empty. It's almost like a ghost town. It's a pretty sizable city, too. I like the little dialogue with Tabitha. She's just really dumb as a fucking rock. She's really stupid. I don't know if this is a word, a real slang thing. She says it Zomg a lot. Zomg? Z-O-M-G. Was that like a popular saying amongst kids or teens? I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is it Zomg? Zomg? I don't understand. I'm an old man. Who could understand such devices? So now we see 1999. We see this guy, Sam Parkin. And I like these little interludes. It's almost like little one-act plays. And this guy basically is telling someone. He's in his little apartment, his shitty apartment. And I guess he's pissed off because he created a growing formula, just like Hank Pym, but it's better. There's not any of the glitches. At one point the size changing drove Pym crazy. It's unstable. For a while, Hank Pym was frozen at 12 feet. I think that was back in the 60s. It made him pass out if he got over 60 feet. I took care of all of that. But nobody wants to hear about my amazing formula. I can't get financing because Pym ruined it for everyone with all of his problems. Nobody wants to deal with growth, abnormal growth serums, because they look at Hank Pym and say, oh, look how that ended up. And the unseen person offers him a lot of money to develop his serum, and also he's recruiting him for something. We'll get back to that later. Now we head back to our heroes. They're in this ghost town, this ghost city. And all of a sudden, Monica's just like, something doesn't feel right. We got to get the hell out of here. And they're heading for their little aircraft. And then this is such a weird image. This upside down castle hanging from like some kind of meteorite slowly floats over the city. And here we meet the CEO of the Beyond Corporation. His name is Number None. He's kind of a robot. With me are Mr. Pope Omerta and General Quiet, all upside down. This is very like Grant Morrison Doom Patrol. This is really full on getting into like surrealism. Kind of fun though. That's what I liked about this period. Alex Alonso, but went from DC to Marvel. He brought over a lot of those Vertigo guys, and they were doing crazy shit with the Marvel characters. Stuff like this. It turns out the city isn't just abandoned. It's also a flying city. A flying terrorist city. So it launches into the air. And now Number None, says, I have brought all my entire super teams. So this is the weapon that made Dirk Anger all happy earlier. This is the new strategy. Apparently, Number None has I don't know, bioengineered or whatever, has all these crazy super teams at his disposal. Now another flashback. And look at this shadowy character. This is a great, well-drawn page here. I love this in the shadows. And it's this guy talking about how, kind of bragging, but basically saying when the sun stopped in 1999, it was me who reignited it with photons. I kicked an asteroid out of the path of Earth. He basically has done all these almost Superman-like things, and nobody knows his name. He says, I met Charles Xavier once. He laughed at my hat. Now, if you guys are total Marvel fans, you can see his hat, even though it's shadowy, kind of looks like just a cooking pot. And you could probably guess who this is. But he's never acted like this. This is a very dark, brooding character. And now we see these super teams all upside down. First, the surgery. Dr. Injectable. Dr. No Sexy. Dr. Meatball. And Dr. Headless, which looks like Power Girl, with just a bucket over her head. We have the Vestry, the Inquisitor, Father Payne, Red Rosary. She's just this little like girl with a giant rosary, which I assume is her weapon. Reverend Guilt and Abbess Horror. I would love to read comics of these characters. And then next we have the Homosexuality, Sun King, the Midnight Man, Polestar, Slightly Creepy Policewoman. These are all references to the gay superheroes at the time in comics. Apollo and Midnighter from The Authority, North Star from Alpha Flight, Polestar, and I believe that's Renee Montoya, even though I never found her creepy at all. But at least that's my guess. I'm pretty sure he's talking about Renee Montoya, who I think was out at that point. Apparently they're not there yet, though, because they're at the Pride Parade in San Francisco. And he says, but as terrifying as these creatures are, they're not enough. And this is my ultimate super team. Now we go back again, showing the recruitment. And this guy's name is David Biederbeck. And I don't know if this guy's from Marvel continuity or something, but he's in jail. And apparently he inhaled gamma-infused gasoline. He was a gas huffer. And I guess he went to that army base where Bruce Banner was irradiated with gamma radiation. So he has Hulk-like powers. And now I guess he's building up to the big reveal. And he says, I dreamed of this super team, this ultimate super team, and then I found these. Someone left them on a bench. And I read them, and I knew this is what I must do. And he throws down what turns out to be comic books. And guys, they're not Brand Ek comic books. The 60s Marvel self-parody comic where Marvel would parody their own characters. And, of course, the main character in that was Forbush Man. And now we see all those characters we had the little interludes with. Once again, upside down, the new Paramounts. It's almost like I think this is a pun, kind of, or wordplay on the Ultimates. Now, I'm going to flip this for you. I don't really understand the upside down thing, to be honest. It's just annoying. But here's Giant Sam, Charlie America, the Incredible Bulk, and there's Forbush Man. Man, this looks great. I love the idea of drawing those characters as, like, really serious. So it's like Alex Ross drawing Brother Power the Geek, or The Adventures of Jerry Lewis or something. So now all the super teams are hovering in the air, ready to attack. And Monica doesn't really have a plan. She's just like, beat the shit out of everyone. That's my plan. Let's beat all these guys. And so now we get a fucking Donnybrook. An amazing kick-ass battle. I wish this went on for 2 or 3 issues, but it doesn't. So there's Giant Sam attacks Tabitha. She blows up his face and arm. This little Bulk guy, the guy who's the Hulk, he's pretty sad. He's just like, I never had a girlfriend. Man, look how skinny her legs are there. That's pure just stylization going on there. There's no anatomy going on there. Elsie Moonstone's taking on Charlie America. But she uses her Mystic Moonstone. And then she screams a defiant thing about the European Union sign on her chest. I don't even get this gag. She says, do you think the letter on my shirt stands for America? I mean, it's not much of a joke. I don't even know if he's trying to make a joke, but it's just a weird way to end the comic. You have been getting insulted by Nextwave, a sequential art like the Bayou Tapestry. And now we have number 10. We continue the fight. So now Machine Man takes on the Vestry. He does a Swiss Army trick again. They all attack him at once. And he makes short work of them. Monica said, Aaron, I said no killing. He said, I'm not killing. I'm sending them to their fleshy heaven. Now we see Monica get attacked by the doctors. I can't remember the name of their super group. But they all have doctor names. And the captain shows up to help. Just, God, he grabs this one, Dr. No Sexy, smashes him up against the upside down, castle or cathedral. And just his head is gone. And then all the black blood just pours out on these, the board of directors there. And so Number None is totally outraged. He's insulted. So he calls for Forbush Man. That's the ace in the hole. So they all confront Forbush Man. He says, "Behold, the naked omnistellar mind of the ultimate human. Experience life in Forbush vision." This is some wicked coloring there. That looks pretty fucking cool. I should mention, since I haven't, this is colored by oh man, maybe I should do research before I show these comics off. I'll find the name later. And then this is really fun. Oh, not this ad for a video game. So we have little chapters of all the characters and what they experience. It's almost like they're in this weird other dimensions. Captain Marvel, it's back in the 60s and 67. There's all these hippies. And it's kind of interesting how the artist drawn totally different styles for all of these chapters. Monica is the old, she used to be called Captain Marvel. So they put her in the old Kree, the first Captain Marvel uniform. There's this weird thing. I guess he's supposed to be like the Kree hive mind or whatever that thing's called, the Supreme Intelligence, General Zoe, which might be a Kree character. And so it's almost like this mini story within the comic where she can see on this monitor Monica's actually dying. Like her being Captain Marvel is killing her or something. I can't really remember, to be honest. It's all just very surreal. This is like Warren Ellis just totally writing like Vertigo style. This is just him really going out there. This is, like the other stuff is just like, oh yeah, maybe Marvel fans will think this is funny. I'll make it all jokey. But this is just really like, really kind of interestingly written. I think in this section, he doesn't give a shit if you understand it. He's just totally going off on a surreal path here. Now we see Machine Man in his version of Forbush Vision. He's just this drone worker. He's one of those, he works in a call service center. And we see him, he's just so fed up. He starts smashing his head into the computer over and over. I really like this. Not only is it different art styles, but even different like layouts. This is all just this 8-panel grid. The other one looked like an old, comic book from the 60s. Now we see Captain Universe, which is really the captain. I guess in this world, he didn't get sued. Now look at this interesting thing. Almost like the Easter Island Heads, but it's Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. So this is really full-on like Vertigo comic stuff. So the captain goes to this kind of flip side of Earth, a mirror version, and basically everything that went right on Earth went wrong here. So it's almost like, I don't know if he's referencing Warren Ellis is referencing his previous Ruins comic, which we looked at here, where the Marvel Universe, everything went wrong. You can, I'd like to imagine it is. His ads are really pissing me off. He sees all the superhumans in flight, thousands of them. He says they hate me because I'm the last one on Earth who remembers how to smile. I'm the most powerful being in the universe. I can do anything except go home. So that's like a sad, melancholy one. Now we have Elsie Bloodstone. And I seriously think, you guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. I really think he's trying to do a Magnolia riff here. Because, she's a monster hunter. And look at the style here. Very heavy on the shadows. It looks really good to me. And look at the coloring even. It's very Dave Stewart. Just those rich, deep colors. So basically, we see her in this future where she screwed up and now the monsters have taken over. She's like the last human left, or one of the few. And just every day she just has to kill these monsters. So it's this kind of bleak version. Look at that. Okay, you guys, I think I'm right. That's him doing Magnolia, right? I didn't even notice when I was reading it, the colors too. They even capture that amazing rich Dave Stewart coloring. And so now we see all of our heroes have fallen, lost in their own mind traps, except for Tabitha. Forbush man is like, how come it's not working with you? And Tabitha says, I guess you're just not much good with girls. He says, I'm mighty with girls. They make the right noises and ruin my bed linen and everything. What a little freak. So it turns out, he says, my power transports the mind, but you do not appear to have one. And she makes him go boom, boom. And she kills him. So, I mean, it's an old gag, but yeah, that's how dumb Tabitha is. There was no brain there to manipulate. She, of course, thinks she's clever. That's how she defeated him. So now, this upside down cathedral, whatever, from Beyond Corporation, they kind of limp off because they were a little damaged a little earlier. And Monica's having enough. She's pissed off. She's like, we're going to follow those fuckers back to their base. We're going to finish this shit. We got the hate mails back. And once again, lots of funny stuff. It's from the Lettermatic 7053. Sorry, guys. Got to get some water. Number 11. This is a parody of Civil War, which was going on at the time. Same trade dressing. But it says not part of a Marvel Comics event. I like this little jab at Mark Millar, who basically orchestrated Civil War. So they're following that limping spacecraft, and they find this. This is called State 51. It hovers above Area 51, has amazing stealth capabilities, so nobody knows it's there. And this is like the big, basically the Beyond Corporation's floating terror factory. Once again, Stuart Immonen, really nice design work. He designed some really cool looking shit. So they infiltrate the place. And then, I guess from another direction, Dirk Enger shows up in his, I already forgot the name of it, the helicarrier thing. And he's basically like, we're going to ram him, which is a suicide mission. Oh, I forgot to mention, so I guess he succeeded in killing himself. Well, actually failed, because he didn't want to kill himself at the end. And so the Beyond Corporation turned him into a zombie. And he's all pissed off because they won't bring him a bucket of brains to eat. But he's still doing his job. He's got maggots coming out of his mouth. This comic is so silly. I think it's a lot of fun, though. And so he's basically like, we're going to ram him. And his second in command is like, no, you'll kill us all. He's like, I don't give a shit. I'm a zombie. So he totally rams into State 51, you know. It's almost like the Death Star. Our intrepid heroes kind of scooch down into the corridors. Some more zany coloring effects. A little too computery looking. So their engines are hit. Our heroes' engines are hit. They start crashing around. They have to abandon ship. And then, oh, I forgot to mention this, guys. So Monica knows that like they're going to send wave after wave of defenders to attack them. And this is so great. The next, like, I think 12 pages are just these 2-page spreads. And they're all fucking silly as hell. This is, so I think that this might be It the Living Colossus. I'm not sure, though. And here's another one. I don't know what these guys are from. But this is the robot from, I believe, what? Amazing Spider-Man number 8? That weird anti-Spider-Man robot who we probably haven't seen since then. And then for some reason we have these pink gorillas in wearing hammer and sickle overalls. I don't know if that's from another comic. Maybe it's the Red Ghosts pals or something. But I just thought this was so much fun, this idea of just everything's a 2-page spread. Now we have Stephen Hawking's in these deadly wheelchairs. In this little thing, he says that everyone has hated Stephen Hawking for 5,000 years. I don't really understand that. But now all these Stephen Hawkings attack, and Nextwave have to decimate them. Oh God, this is so ridiculous. We have blue skin pirates. Maybe they're Kree. These guys look like little Amazo babies, the DC character. And I don't know, they're just these weird, fun characters. And look at this, guys. Elvis Presley M.O.D.O.Ks. They're M.O.D.O.Ks, but they look like Elvis. This is so ridiculous. I don't know who the hell these gimpy guys are. The gimpy ninjas. This is so much fun. Oh man, this is. I gotta say, guys, I mentioned it earlier, but there's a lot of Jeff Darrow in here. I don't know if Stuart Immonen and him are friends. Just this wacky zany. This is the kind of shit Jeff Darrow does. Of course, much better. But Jeff Darrow loves to just be like, I'm gonna have 12 2-page spreads of just random fucking violence and crazy kooky characters and attacking each other. You know, sometimes that's a great comic. You know, you can keep your Neil Gaimans and Alan Moores. I love those guys. But also, this is good too. This is a good part of comics. I don't know who the hell these little imps are with little weird hats. There's these 4-armed samurai, actually binary samurai. Conjoined twin samurai with 4 arms. And then some dinosaur who's shooting out force beams from his face. Oh man, this is fun stuff. Fucking annoying ad. Kind of ruins the rhythm. And now we see Wolverine chimps. Chimps dressed as Wolverine attacking them. And then these giant rattlesnakes riding these like Spitfire, old-timey aircraft. It's just nuts. It's zany as hell. I kind of like Elsie Moonstone. Her hair just gets bigger and bigger. It's almost like Spawn's cape. It's just so ludicrous. It's like 17 feet of hair sometimes coming out the back of her head in her ponytail. I gotta say, guys, if I see a Stuart Immonen comic, I'm buying it. I've really become a fan. Oh, I love these fucking creatures. This looks like something from Commandy. These weird helmet-wearing saber-toothed tigers. These aliens look familiar. I think this is from like an old Steve Ditko comic with their little antennae. And these guys look familiar too. Like these are from an Atlas horror comic. I don't know though. If any of you guys recognize these characters, please let me know. It seems, I have a feeling some of them, Warren Ellis is definitely doing like some fan service here. This is beyond fan service. This is like fan hand job. Fan fellatio. Stupid ad. And it looks like they've made it through all these travails. And then Numbered Nun comes out of nowhere and runs Machine Man through. And now the final climactic chapter, number 12. I don't know who these guys are, but I really like these cute little guys here. Okay, the primer kind of breaks format for that one. So we start right where we left off. And, Numbered Nun is ranting like a villain. Basically just saying how, I hate all you humans. You think Aaron Stack's dead. You see him lift a finger and he says, "Excuse me, have you ever really met a robot you could kill by stabbing it through the chest?" "No, you fucking pervert." no, I'm sorry, he calls him a puss bag. And he does the weird finger thing again, makes some tool, some bizarre contraption, and he just fucking rips off Number None's head, shreds it. But then they say, oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry, Monica says, open up the chest. Because it's still standing. And this guy's fucking nuts. There's a little baby M.O.D.O.K in his chest. Look at him. And, oh God, this fucking misshapen body is weird. And they, at first Monica's like, oh, it's kind of cute. And Monica seems to know about these M.O.D.O.Ks. She's never seen a baby one, though. Sorry, guys, I'm slowing down. I think I skipped this last night. These 2 pages I did not read. She says, where's your mommy and daddy? But this baby M.O.D.O.K's all alone in the world. Seems like his parents took off. So basically, that cadre of 4 guys in the Upside Down Cathedral, they're called Silent, S, you know, like an acronym. They didn't tell us what Silent stood for, but they're like the power behind Beyond. Now we find out this baby M.O.D.O.K is really the power behind the throne. Monica just swats this baby away. And the baby says, baby M.O.D.O.K says, I'll show you all. And then takes off. They get in a little argument. And then they take off after baby M.O.D.O.K. Trying to, basically destroying State 51 as they go. Blowing up as much as they can. Look at this fucking cute little baby M.O.D.O.K. And then all of a sudden she comes up to these steps. We see a giant gun come out of this mist. And it blows baby M.O.D.O.K into pieces. And we actually find out she wasn't totally in charge. There's the ultimate power here. And it's Devil Dinosaur in a smoking jacket. Drinking champagne with his tiny little hand. His polio-ridden hand. Oh, Warnos, you fucking freak. So, you know, he tells them his whole thing, like a villain. You know, oh, I was alive before humans, before even monkeys. And you guys ruined everything. With your noisiness and your electronics and the clanking of your machines. He basically wants to kill everyone and bring Earth back to this, you know, primitive antediluvian paradise. And then Monica tries to basically use psychology on him. She's just like talking to him like, you know, like I think you're lying. I know somebody hurt you at one point. Tell me, who was the one who made you turn to a life of monkey killing crime? And he's like, no, stop this. But she's really getting through to him. And he says, you're not going to make me cry. I won't cry for you, you little, you know, censored fuck or whatever. And then he breaks down and he says, oh God. And he shows her some torn pages. And it's the old Devil Dinosaur from Devil Dinosaur #1 with Moon Boy. And she says, I don't get it. Devil Dinosaur says, just look at it. I'm so ashamed. I'm the monkey. I'm sorry. The monkey would demand that he be carried around as if Devil Dinosaur was an animal while he spread his monkey joy Moon Boy hated Devil Dinosaur, so Moon Boy had to die. Moon Boy tasted bad, though, and gave him considerable rectal distress. Man, Warren Ellis is just totally goofing so hard. And he brags about how you can't harm me. I was burned at birth. All it did is make my skin red. And Monica says, have you ever been dropped from 2 miles or so? Think that could kill you? It's like, I don't recall ever being dropped from 2 miles up. So, of course, the team kind of all gets together. And using their various powers, they kind of bring this whole State 51 to ruin. And Devil Dinosaur falls all the way down to Earth in this structure that he was in. It's like rolling down the mountain. And right when it lands, it comes to a stop. Tabitha makes it explode. And so basically all the guys are like, okay, we succeeded. What, do we just go our separate ways? And she says, you know, guys, we have a vast, invisible, floating base full of God knows what kind of technology. And the captain says, what do you do with the vast, floating, invisible base thing? And Monica says, anything we want. So it looks like this was could have been open-ended, and there could have been more stories where now they're in charge of State 51, the floating base. And who knows what shenanigans they would have gotten involved in. So I'm too lazy to even look it up, but if anyone also knows, have Nextwave ever appeared again in Marvel comic? Let me know in the comments if you know this. Maybe I will look it up, but right now I can't, of course, because I'm going to wrap this up. Sorry guys that took so long, but I don't know. I think between the first 6 and the second 6 of this 12-issue miniseries, I really like this comic more and more. It seemed to get daffier and zanier in the last 6 issues. And I really appreciated it. And I would love if there was more of these. It's fun. I think they're fun as hell. And I'm also Stuart Immonen's art really started growing on me. The weird angularness of it. And hope you guys liked looking at it with me. And I hope to see you next time here at the Herculespetix Academy of Comic Book Studies.